What's up, family? So I feel led just to make this video. I'm just reading the book of Joshua, and I've been studying it this past month, and it's really been blessing me. And something I've understood from Joshua is that as long as we be strong and courageous, that the Lord will fight for us. There's no battle in our life that we can't get through, as long as we trust that the Lord will do it and have faith in the Lord. But the key to our faith is our obedience. See, Joshua was obedient in everything that God told him to do. And when he was obedient, then God was with him. The first time that obedience was broken, then God set back. Joshua was confused. He had a person that he told, hey, don't take nothing from this land. And one person took something from the land. So sometimes that one person that made that one mistake is the reason why you haven't walked into your blessing yet. So Joshua had to call out this person, found out what tribe he was from. He said, yo, I'm looking for the person that done this because God told me that someone has sinned against him. God said, do not take nothing from these folks' land. And you took something from their land. He called the family, he called the tribe, and he found that there was a guy named Achan. And he found that he took silver and gold and a couple of other things. And he was stoned, him and his family. He lost his donkeys, his family, and everything. And from that point forward, Joshua had to remain obedient. And every time he was obedient, no matter what tribe, no matter what place tried to attack Joshua and the Israelites, he conquered it. They won. They didn't even lose. Like, they didn't even lose. No matter where he went, left, right, north, south, east, or west, he did not lose because God was with him. But see, sometimes we have to remove that one person that's around us that we don't know, who's doing things that does not please God. Because that's the reason why we still got chains over our feet that's stopping us from going through our progress. But then we must be obedient when God shows us this person. See, sometimes God will show us the person that's doing wrong, but we don't follow and we don't be obedient because it's a family member, because it's a best friend. Maybe sometimes because it's a boyfriend or girlfriend. But as soon, according to Joshua, and this is just from Joshua 1 to Joshua 10, as soon as you remain obedient, no matter what comes, don't be afraid. Don't be discouraged. Don't be intimidated. Every country tried to attack Joshua and the Israelites. They lost. The land that they lost to because the person was disobedient, they went back and conquered that land. Then they said, you know what? Some other guys came around Joshua and was like, you know what? They was called the Gibeons. We want to be friends with you. But there's another thing you have to watch for. You have to watch for people who come as if they're not. Meaning, the Gibeons came with broken shoes and messed up clothes and worn out clothes, and they were smelly, moldy bread. And they said, you know what? We're not from this land. We are from a far, far land. We don't even know who you are. This is what God has told us to come. So Joshua decided to be like, you know what? That's fine. Y'all can be cool with us. We can be our allies. But one thing Joshua didn't do was consult God. Since Joshua didn't consult God, later his spies went out and found out these people are really from around the corner. These people are from a countries over. They're not that far from us. So when he found that out, he went back to the people and basically was like, hey, why did you guys lie to me? Why did you guys present yourself as something that you wasn't? See, we have to stop taking everything as it is and present everything. Like, we have to really test the spirit. That's in the Bible. We don't test the spirit. Just because it looks good doesn't mean it is good. Just because it look bad and look like it needs help doesn't necessarily mean that it needs help. But see, the people of Gibeon were scared because they heard of what Joshua and his army was doing, and they didn't want it to happen to their country. So what happened was, Joshua said, I'm going to make a peace treaty with y'all. But when he found out that he lied, he didn't break the peace treaty because he placed it under God, but they were cursed. Now, a couple of stories later, the Gibeonites were now under attack. Wow. They called out to Joshua and said, we need you guys to come and help us out. They're beating us from left to right. It was 5 kings that was remaining. And these 5 kings decided to team up. And when they teamed up, they was like, you know what? We're going to stop the Israelites today. We're going to stop them. It's over with. We're going to finish the Israelites today. And that'll show you sometimes people will team up to stop your progress. But see, when you with God, I don't care who teams up against you, you will succeed. You will go forward. You will march through every obstacle. I don't care how high the grass is. You will be able to march it through. I don't care if it's an obstacle or it's a maze. Nothing will be able to stop you. I don't care if it's a snowstorm. You will not lose because God is with you. And see, when God is not with you, you're going to always win. But something he had to do, he had to be obedient and he had to have faith. God said, be strong and courageous and go fight these people because I am with you. I will not abandon you nor fail you. He told him that in Joshua 1. He said, go fight them. 5 kings teamed up against him. This is how the Lord works. Even though 5 kings teamed up against him, Joshua, one army, went against those 5 kings. And the Lord fought for Joshua. See, the Lord caused a hailstorm to come down and rain hail on them. More of them were murdered by hail than murdered by the sword. So when you are with God and you are obedient to God and you have faith, you don't have to worry about what they're saying. You don't have to worry about what they're doing. You just got to move. If God say move this way, move this way. If God say go to this job, go to this job. If God say quit this job, quit this job. If God say move away from this person, move away from this person. If God say move to California, you live in DC, move to California, because there's a battle that God's going to fight for you in the midst of you moving. In the midst of your obedience, you will win when God is with you. But you must remain obedient as Joshua remained obedient. And when he remained obedient, check this, when he remained obedient, God was with him. And 5 armies couldn't stop 1 army. Because when God is with you, nothing could be against you. God knew the plans that he had for your life. So if he knows the plans that he's taking you, do you think he will allow you to fail? No. God won't allow you to fail. God said he's going to guide and direct your feet. He's going to order your steps in the way that they should go. But it starts with your faith and it's predicated on your obedience. Your obedience, they say in the Bible, is better than sacrifice. You have to understand that one bad apple or acorn can destroy something. But once you get back to that faith side, and once you realize that bad apple, God said, if you remain in me, I'm going to remain in you. And God go cut off every branch that doesn't represent him. You ain't even got to do the work. God go fight every battle. You ain't even got to do too much talking. God got you. And in the Bible, it shows in Joshua, God was with Joshua against 5 armies. And his sword with his soldiers wasn't even enough. They didn't even need his sword. God did the fighting. Remember when he walked around Jericho? He said, just walk around 7 days straight. But on that 7th day, walk around 7 times. And when you blow that horn, the walls go fall. The obedience was, you want me to walk around a town for 7 days, and on the 7th day, walk around it 7 times, and you telling me these walls will fall? Well, God, if you tell me to do it, I'm going to do it. And his obedience, because see, if he had a faith, we'd be looking like walk around a building and it will fall. That don't make no sense. But because he had faith and he was obedient, the walls fell. And God was with him. God told him he would never fail you or abandon him. And when he defeated these 5 kings, he commanded that these 5 kings come out of the cave after he defeated them. He called his commanders of Israel to place the foot on their neck. And he said, do not be afraid or dismayed. He said, but be strong and courageous. For this is what the Lord will do to all of your enemies. He told the kings that fought with him to put the foot on the neck of the kings who was against him. And God, from that day forward, will defeat all your enemies. He will do it for you. You don't even have to do the work. Your work is faith in obedience. Every king was defeated after that because the Lord God was with Joshua. Every army tried to fight him from around, and every army lost. No matter where he went, he was successful, because when God is with you, you will succeed. I'm just here to let you know, stick with God and you will succeed. You will not fail. You must win. You can do all things through Christ that strengthens you, and there's no weapon formed against you that will prosper. I pray you've been blessed. And in Jesus' name, I pray that God directs your feet. I pray that he opens the doors for you. I pray that he closes doors for you that you don't need to walk through. I pray that he places you on this protective shade. I pray that he breaks the chain from your generational curse. I pray that he cuts the umbilical cord from anything from your father's house or your mother's house that doesn't represent him or that's holding you back from where God has called you to be. You will prosper. You will succeed. You will win. Be obedient, have faith, and trust God. Love y'all.